I'm your math teacher Jivita, and today in this class we'll be learning about measurement lesson number 3. So what do you mean by measurement? It's nothing but you say how tall something or how big, how small. We are going to discuss that today. So you all know when I ask you how big is this chart, you will measure using a scale or a tape and say me the number. But what about in the olden days? In olden days, they didn't have a scale or a tape to measure. And how did they measure? They used their body parts like their hands, their legs. They used these body parts to measure things. I'll show you how. See, the first thing they use is the palm. That is your hand from here to here. This is called palm. They use this palm to measure. Example, let us measure this length of a board. They used to keep from here to here 1 palm, 2 palm, 3 palm, 4 and 5. So the length of the board is 5 palm. So this is how they used to measure in olden days. And they also use the hand from the top till your elbows. This they called it as cubit. They used to call this measurement as cubit. So how they used to measure? Just like how they kept their palm and measured. Now they used to keep it your hand from top and they measure till here. So this is 1 cubit. Again now. So the board, when I measure in cubits, I get 2 cubits. Let us write it down. So first, what did I measure? I measured palm. Using palm, I measured the length of the board. So what is the length of the board in palm I measured? It was 5 palm. Next, I measured using cubit. So how many cubits did I get? I got 2 cubits. And they also use their foot. What is the meaning of foot? Your leg. So they use their foot, that is your leg, only from here to here. And they measured things like floor length or length of anything which is lying down. So I'm going to measure my floor from this edge till here. Okay. So let us start measuring. I have to keep this foot edge here and start counting. This is my 1 foot. Now I'll take next foot from here. So I'll keep it here. This is my 2 foots now. So till here I have counted 2 foots. Now 3. And my next one will be 4. And here I have 4 and half. I didn't get my full foot. So only till here I should count. So I am taking it as half. So what is the length of the floor I measured now? It is 4 and half. So come to the board. So I measured the length of the floor and how many foot did I get? So we say it as feet and I got 4 and half. This is how in olden days people used to measure. So children, why do we not use that in nowadays also? Because there is a small mistake in this. Let us see what is that. I measured this length using my hand. If you use your hand and measure, will you get the same number too? Is your hand same like mine? Mine is little bigger and yours is little smaller. So you don't get the same answer. You are measuring the same chart, but still you don't get the same answer. So that is wrong in maths, right? Whoever measures it, the length should be same. Only then the answer is correct. So because of this mistake, we don't use the olden days measurements. Nowadays we use a standard measurements. Okay. After knowing all these mistakes, people made a standard measurement. measurement, you call it as units to measure the length. That is meters. So what is the standard unit for measuring length is meter. You represent it or you write it m, meter. And they also use centimeter, that they write it as cm. So these are the two standard units used to measure the length of any object. So this is standard unit. So how you measure this? Let's see the scale now. You know that we use scale or a tape to measure. Now I'll teach you how to use that for measuring. So you can see the scale here and you can see some numbers marked on it. These numbers are nothing but centimeters. Okay. I have written the picture of a scale here so that you can see clearly. So even in scale, you have numbers like from 0, next 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. It goes on. So how you measure from 1, from 0 till 1. This is 1 centimeter. In your scale, if you take from 0 till 1, that will be 1 centimeter. Similarly, from 0 to 2, 2 centimeter. 0 to 3, 3 centimeters. Now what if I get the number in between this? Like, see, I am going to measure my pen and you can see it is not coming till 5. It is coming only till somewhere in the middle. So what I do is, till here I have 4. After 4 I will count how many lines are there in between. So how many lines do you have in between in this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So my pen is 4.7 centimeters. Okay children, my pen I measured using a scale. I got 4.7 centimeters. Like that, you can also use your scale and measure different objects. Here, you have some list here, okay, to measure. But before going to that, now I measured my pen using a scale. But what if I want to measure this chart using a scale? See, my scale is too small to measure. And if I keep on changing the scale, my measurements will be wrong. I may go wrong somewhere. For that, we use the tape. Even in tape, you have numbers just like how you have it in your scale. Can you see the numbers down here? Up is different. You have to see the numbers which are down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All these things are used to measure little bigger objects. Okay, and then see, I am measuring it. I can see my chart paper is 84 centimeters. 84 centimeters. Now we are studying only about centimeters. Then what about meters? Meters are used when you have little bigger than these objects, like which is very big. The wall or even myself, I am bigger than this chart. I cannot use centimeters to measure me. Okay, because centimeters are used to measure only small objects like duster, pen, this chart or anything else which is little smaller. When you have objects bigger than that, which you cannot measure in centimeters, we measure it using meters. Are you clear with this, children? Centimeters are used to measure small things. Meters are used to measure big things. That is what we are going to see in this exercise first me. In this exercise first me, I am going to say you the page number. I want every one of you to open your textbooks and write along with me. So, your SEM 2 Math textbook page number 91. Page number 91. So exercise 3.1. I have written the questions for you here. First me, you have to just say whether do we use meters or centimeters. That's it. So just see here. The first question is length of your school bag. Your school bag, will you measure in meters or centimeters? Your bag is not too big, right? So you can use centimeters to measure it. And then come for the next one. The length of your TV screen. It is not too big, but it is not too small also. So we will measure it using your meters unit. Length of your classroom. Children, for this, if your TV screen is little small, you can use centimeters only. For very big screen like LED, very big TVs, we use meters. Okay. Now third one, length of your classroom. The length of the classroom, you will use it in centimeters or meters? You will use meters to measure them. The length of a needle. You all know needles which we use to stitch cloth. So that will be using centimeters. Next one. Length of your desk. Your desk, your school desk, that is little big only, right? So what you will use to measure your desk? You will be using meters. The length of an aeroplane. My God, it's too big, right? So you will be using meters. Now come to your math textbook. For this, which unit will you use? Meters or centimeters? It is centimeters. So children, are you clear with the first exercise? For the second exercise, you have to go to page number 92. 92 page number, and your second exercise is you have to measure the things using the scale. You have to measure it, children. That I can't show it on the board because here you can see your notebook. See, my notebook is very bigger than you. Your notebook is not same like mine. So each notebook will be different measurements. For that, I want you to measure your textbooks, chalk, pen, crayon, your pencil, a small stick. You have to measure them. Write the numbers here. It's not just centimeters or meters you should write. You have to measure it and write the answer like this. I am going to show you one more example here. On the board, you will be measuring like that. You think this is my scale. Okay. Now I am going to measure my book. Let me write how much is my book measurement. So what should I do? I should keep the edge 0. I should start from here. I'll keep my book to the 0 edge and I will see the other edge here. How much is this measuring? 8. So my book is 8 centimeters. Children, all these are centimeters, right? So I have to write centimeter. If I don't write centimeter, my answer will be wrong. So when you measure the things also, you should write the number and centimeter next to that. So shall I show you one more example? Okay, fine. Let me measure my notebook here. So I am going to measure this notebook now. One more example how to measure. You are going to take the book, keep it on the scale, Start from 0 and then see the other edge. You can see my notebook is 7 centimeter. So my textbook was 8 centimeter. This was for textbook. Now I have measured my notebook. So what is the measurement I measured my notebook? It was 7 centimeters. So I will be writing 7 centimeters. That is my answer. Like this, I want you all to measure whatever they have mentioned in page number 92. Children, the page number is 92. This you have to measure the things, write the numbers, and you will be showing it to me in the interactive session. Okay children, do you have any doubts in this? Please get it clarified in the interactive session. So let's see in the next video. Thank you. Bye.